when there's a decision to be made, it's his way or nothing. He's not even open to consideration. That's not someone you want as a life partner.
Welcome to Light to Insight channel, where Jesus is revealed, lives are transformed, and truth is boldly proclaimed. Get ready to encounter light, love, and the power of the word. Be sure to watch till the end. You won't want to miss a moment.
If he's not saying it, if he has not verbally told you, listen, I want us to date, either of two things. It's either he doesn't feel you're the one, but he just enjoys your company. And listen, sometimes you might be tempted to just say, yeah, he will still feel like it's tomorrow, But more often than not, he's still looking for someone who meets his criteria and ticks all the boxes. And that does not mean you're not awesome. He just has maybe weird expectations or personal expectations that you don't meet. And it's supposed to be like easy peasy. Okay, no problem, move on. But when you stay there, that's when you will now come on Twitter and say, there's this guy that's been on my space. Now I got wedding invite. Because chances are, if the lady he has secretly been waiting for shows up, he's going to move on. Or he just wants all the things that come with relationship. And this is, like I said, this is a Christian channel, so I'm not talking about sex or touching or any such thing. But he just likes the attention, the friendship and all of that, the commitment, without actually having like a sense of future. Weird ideas. Weird ideas. He when he begins to tell you, let's not be particular about the names. I don't have to call you boyfriend, girlfriend. Let's just know that we have a thing going. He's trying to play with you. Don't believe, okay? And just pull the plugs. The second type of man, or the third, right, type of man I want to talk about is the selfish man. The selfish man. And I'm not even talking about selfishness when it comes to money, because we're talking about dating. He's not your father, hey? But we can talk about that. Even though he's not your father, I think you can check for generosity at the early stages. It's also important, but if I have more time, I'm going to touch on that in better detail. But what I'm talking about here is this: when you when you're dating a man who is so full of himself that he is not sensitive to your emotions, he doesn't care. He's so egocentric, and he just acts anyhow, talks anyhow. When there's a decision to be made, it's his way or nothing. He's not even open to consideration. That's not someone you want as a life partner. That's not someone. In fact, these are the kind of people who maybe spiral into abusing their partners. I'm just saying. So you might want to watch out for that. All right? I'm not talking about someone who is strong-willed. I'm talking about another extreme. It's not even open to suggestions, not open to negotiations, and he just wants his way all the time. All right? And here is one simple way you can know you have such a person, in your life. If every time there is a problem, he always sees you as the problem. Always sees you. You are the one who, they are never introspective. They never sit back to say, okay, this is what I did wrong. Never. They never acknowledge that they are wrong. Never. They never apologize. Please run away from such a person. Otherwise, you'll find that you'll be dating yourself. And you're just going to be in an abusive situation. Even if it's not physical, it's going to be emotional abuse. So you want to run away from such a person. The next person that you should run away from is someone who is just a dreamer. He never wants to do anything. He always has, lofty ideas of things he would do, things he would become, things, but when you look at the person's track record, you can't see any pattern of consistency. So in the last 3 years, he has changed jobs 4 times, and in fact, not just changing jobs, because of course it's possible for you to get better jobs and all of that. But what I'm saying is, he will start something, give up, and then just say, at the age of 35, I think my calling is football. That's when he wants to now start a football career, And when you're trying to advise him, like, guy, he feels you're not supportive and all of that. So just dreamer. So after he tries football 2 years, he just says, I know it. It's not football, it's dancing, and things like that. Listen, especially because I believe that the biblical design is that the man of the house should be a provider, and should offer a sense of leadership for the house. The worst thing you want is to have a man in your house without a clear sense of direction, without a clear sense of leadership. And it's very easy, when you think about it, it's very easy to see patterns in that person's life. Just look at the decisions he has made in the past, and watch out for consistency. Now, listen, some people make this mistake and they go for ready-made, and they now have unrealistic dreams of marrying someone who is already rich, who already has it going, and all of that. There are not many people in that age group, in that are still single and have it going for them that way. But there are many Mr. Potentials. I think my wife has talked about this also. There are many Mr. Potentials, but there are also people who are just talkers. What they are just dreamers. It's not potential at all. They're just dreamers. And talk is cheap. So even if you have not seen any grand grand evidence of success in their lives, you must at least see progress, no matter how little. You know what they say? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. You must see baby steps. You must see a man who is not lazy, who is hardworking, who is, doing his best, who is working hard to match up to the talk. You see? So listen, even though I've said ladies ought not be materialistic, there are some guys, who shouldn't even be talking and proposing marriage. What do you mean? You're an adult, you don't have a job, you don't have any sense of direction, you still stay with your mom. You don't have the right to fall in love. You don't have the right to fall in love. You don't have the right. No. So and it's very important that in the most polite way, you communicate your expectations. At least even if you don't eventually date the person, help a friend out and say, you know what, I think this and this and this, are the things I would want in the person that I would date. I think it's very important. So otherwise, if you just compromise, I've seen many ugly situations where ladies compromise like that, and then they end up doing everything. You are the father and the mother in the home. You are the one who does everything, pays school fees, and pays house rent, and everything. And people like that, they get worse when they find a woman, who is financially buoyant and doesn't mind. If you don't mind, get ready. Because, he's just going to get all these rocking chairs. Those ones that 75-year-olds use. We just buy it, and be in that chair throughout the marriage. All right? So try just in the simple, most polite way to keep him on his toes. All right? Keep him on his toes.
Thank you for watching. If this blessed you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep living the word, spreading the light, and walking in purpose. See you in the next video. Stay rooted in Christ.